Congressman Roilo Golez. I think many of you know him already, but I'd like to say that one thing about him. Way back in the early 70s, a young naval officer named Roilo Golez landed in one of the islands and made it Kalayaan Island. So he was there from the very beginning. It was a secret mission ordered by the Philippine president then to lay claim for that beautiful island, now known as Pag-asa, Kalayaan. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Roilo Golez, who will give us a short presentation of the key problems facing the Kalayaan Islands and what to do about it. Roilo?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Eric. Former President Ramos, and of course, the spark plug of this gathering, Madam Lloyd Nicholas Lewis. Thank you so much for making me a part of this program. All our special guests here from abroad and from here. I'd like to start with this picture. 1971, I was a new graduate of the Naval Academy. I was privileged to be a member of a secret mission. That's me, 30 pounds ago. And that's June Tukay, the better half of Daisy Tukay here. He was the intelligence officer. I was the weapons officer. We were tasked the mission of landing troops, equipment, supplies, etc., to several islands in what was known then as Freedom Island, Freedom Land. Another picture. Of course, when I was a congressman, the first big news about Mr. Brief came out with this structure here. We complained that the Chinese said, don't worry, that's only a temporary structure. We'll be gone after a while. But we flew over there after about 3 years, together with that's me and Congressman Dana Rohrabacher of the United States. We took a C-130 and overflew, and we saw with our own eyes frenetic construction activities, welding, etc., on the island. This was about 1998, and we knew that something big was being constructed, and that's it at that time. What they called the temporary structure, that was the temporary structure, and that's it. In December 1999, December 7, I delivered a privileged speech, and I said that is not the only thing that they're interested in. I told them that, in my opinion, they were very much interested in Scarborough Shoal. And true enough, in 2012, the Chinese grabbed Scarborough Shoal, and this is the situation there now. A lot of people are saying that's only a small thing. Scarborough Shoal is not small. The area of Scarborough Shoal is about 150 square kilometers, the size of Quezon City. So you can imagine, just go to Quezon City from Welcome all the way to the Batasan, then Fairview. You can imagine all the things that they can do inside that big lagoon. And it's very close to our vital economic and military installations in Luzon, here. The Scarborough Shoal, and you can see that's Manila, Zambales, Clark, Subic, etc., And this came out in the news in Japan. This was furnished to us by a Japanese TV station. In the rally that we conducted last July 24, some Zambales fishermen went there and told some horrifying stories of how they were being harassed by the Chinese Coast Guard. And here's a sample of that harassment.
一方、こちらは FNN が独自入手した映像です。南シナ海のスカボロー礁で今年4月、中国当局の船がフィリピンの漁船団に高圧放水を執拗に浴びせ、船体や漁の道具などを破壊する様子が映されています。
And during the rally, some fishermen said that some of them died already in that area because of the harassment by the Chinese. Now, people are asking, people who are not, who think small rocks are nothing, why fight over small rocks? Well, I'd like to tell you, this was the situation in the Second World War. There were so many small rocks there, and they became very strategic during the Second World War. And here's an example of the small rock, Uliti. Uliti is about 3 times the size of Scarborough Shoal, about 1,000 nautical miles from Leyte. This was the site where Admiral Halsey stationed his fleet. Look at that, in that small area. All the battleships, the aircraft carriers, destroyers, etc., landing ships. That's what you can do with what a lot of people are saying, small rock. So it's very strategic, just like if you're a sniper standing on one square foot of real estate, you can make that a very strategic area. This is Uliti, this is Bajo de Masinloc. When I attended a meeting, a strategic meeting in Japan last January, we talked about what the Chinese are doing, and we made the conclusion that what they're doing in the South China Sea now is developing this strategic triangle. The first point of the triangle is already existing. This is Woody Island in the Paracels. They have runways there. That's already a complete facility. And in fact, the reason why we have our July 24 rallies, and this was started by Madame Loida, was it was on July 24, 2012, when they established the Sanxia City, where they declared the South China Sea as a virtual local government unit of China, and that would include this area as part of the local government unit. And of course, we all know that there are ongoing constructions, reclamations in the second corner of the triangle. This is Fiery Cross, Johnson Reef, etc., South, etc., etc. And then, eventually, third part of the strategic triangle will be Scarborough Shoal. That's a big piece of real estate, as I told you. It's as big as Quezon City. So if the moment they complete that, they will have the strategic triangle and they will have complete control of the South China Sea. And this is connected with what we call the first island chain. You know, the first island chain is both a defense line to protect China, but at the same time, they'd like to break out of that because the first island chain goes all the way to Japan, to the north part, and then all the way to Brunei. They are locked in here. They cannot break out because there is Japan, there is the 7th Fleet here, there's the Philippines, and there's Australia, but they would like to go to the second island chain to make the area much bigger, because right now, China is suffering. It's a big landmass, but they have a very small coastline, and they're locked in here because of all the surrounding countries. And they have ongoing construction. I'll show you. Many of you are familiar with this already, but I think some civilians are not familiar with what is going on with their reclamation. There are so many reclamation projects here. This is to show you how fast they're moving. February 2013, this was the situation in the Johnson South Reef. In about only 1 year, they were able to reclaim that. If you try to compare that with the reclamations in the Manila Bay area, they're really moving very fast. And this is how the structure looks like. Parang may ginagawang MOA dito, no? From a very small point, that one, to this very large area. This is the Hughes Reef. It used to be underwater, but now, look at that, in just about 1-2 years, it's a big property already. And then Quarteron Reef, March 2013, in about 1 year, from a very small dock, practically underwater, to a big property. Gaven Reef, 2014, August 2014, then January 2015. They really reclaim very fast. This is Pirate Cross Reef, the most famous, the biggest one. Look at that. It's only a small dot. August 2014. In about less than 1 year, there you have. They already have a 3,000 meter or a 3-kilometer runway there. It's quite massive. This is Subi Reef, very close to our Pag-asa. Look at this. This is small dot only, but they were able to reclaim that big part in just 1 year. And of course, Mischief Reef. It used to be practically underwater, but now they have this big real estate. And all told, we are talking, I understand, of about 3,600 hectares, much bigger than the existing reclamation area in Manila Bay. And once they complete this, look at what they can do here, what they can do in the South China Sea. It can become a frontline outpost for logistic functions. They can improve their area denial capability, maritime coercion, and they can position all kinds of their military aircraft, fighters, bombers, unmanned aerial vehicles can be deployed there. Aircraft, stronghold for anti-access area denial, the A2AD. Which is very familiar to military people. And then some people are worried that they might also declare an aerial defense identification zone in the South China Sea, just like what they did in the East China Sea, and that will make things really very, very complicated. This is our own, once they have a base there, with a 1,000 kilometer radius, they will control, cover the entire Philippines, the entire Borneo, practically all of Vietnam. And this is going to be a game changer the moment they position a flanker like the J-11 here. And look at the master plan for the area. This is better than the NAIA facility. And here's an article from the national interest. This is a huge airplane of the Chinese. And what is more worrisome is that they can position their much feared Dongfeng 21D hypersonic missile, the so-called carrier killer, like that, and just to demonstrate the offense and of course, the defense that the U.S. Navy can do. I'll show you this.
The U.S. Navy believes China's Dongfeng 21D carrier killer missile has reached initial operating capability. According to state-run media, China would attack an American carrier with 3 salvos of the missile. The first would pierce the hull, start fires, and shut down the flight deck. The second would knock out the engines and be accompanied by air attacks. The third would sink the carrier. The Navy would seek to disable the 21D during all phases of its trajectory. Missile defense cruisers could shoot it down. Electronic warfare aircraft could jam it. The missile could also be tricked into thinking the carrier is somewhere it's not.
That's the thing that could happen. Very, very frightening, very worrisome. And we just discovered, and this was reported by the networks, that there is a survey ship already in the vicinity of Recto Bank. And I think that is the next target after Ayungin. That's why they're so active in the Ayungin area, because the next step is the Recto Bank. It's about 8,000 square kilometers. This is quite a big area, very rich in natural resources, of course, territory, natural gas, etc. There. Of course, the government is trying to implement an AFP modernization program. In my opinion, a very good defense capability upgrade would be a very good defense capability upgrade would be the acquisition immediately of second-hand frigates. If we order brand new, it will take about 3 to 4 years. baka patay na yung kabayo by the time dumating sila.